In today's lecture session, we will discuss the two important concepts used in economics for investigation and formulation of laws and various principles. So these methods are the deductive methods and the inductive methods. So in this lecture, we will also discuss the merits and demerits of these two methods. So for simple and easy lecture sessions, do like, share and subscribe my channel. Let's now begin by discussing what do you mean by the term deductive method. So in this case, we begin with certain formal data and assumptions. Then by giving logical reasoning, we reach at certain conclusions. Based on the accepted fundamental facts, a theory is made after adding some assumptions. So deductive method is also known as the hypothetical method, as some assumptions may not correspond to the actual facts, but they are very near to the actual facts. So there are three stages in deductive method. We start with observation, then we give the logical reasoning. In the third stage, we conduct the testing by further observations. So deductive method provide us with hypotheses or the generalizations. If hypotheses are tested and verified with relevant facts, we validate the economic laws. So this is the deductive method, or we call it deductive analysis. From merit point of view, the deductive method is very simple and it is near to reality. It draws its conclusions from the accepted generalizations. The complex problems can be solved by dividing it into several components. Then the conclusions drawn by deductive analysis have universal validity. So these are the merits. Now if we consider the demerits, the deductive method is mainly based on assumptions which may sometimes be unreal. And these unreal assumptions impacts the conclusions. Then the universal applicability cannot be possible as economic problems differ from one country to another. It is not useful for solving very complex economic problems, and the validity of the conclusions drawn are difficult to test. So these are the demerits of deductive analysis. So in case of deductive method or deductive analysis, we reach conclusion from general to specific. For example, the first cases or first premise is all birds have wings. The second is parrots are birds. So here we start with general premise that all the birds have wings. Then specific premise that parrots are birds is established. And from these two premises, we give a logical conclusion that the parrots have wings. So this is how we conduct deductive analysis. I hope now the topic is clear with this example. In case of inductive method or inductive analysis, first facts are collected, arranged, and conclusions are drawn. Then these general conclusions are further verified with the uh, reference to the actual facts. So in this case of inductive method, we move from specific to general. So it is also known as the historical method, the analytical method, or we call it the realistic method. Here we start investigations on the basis of particular facts, and then we try to generalize them with reference to the economy. So in this case, we can say that we formulate the general laws on the basis of real facts. So this is how the inductive analysis works. Now let's also discuss the inductive analysis method with this example. Suppose you observe that plants in your garden grows at faster rate when you water your plants with the rainwater as compared to groundwater. So based on your observations, you formulate the hypothesis that rainwater has a positive impact on plant growth. Now you will conduct experiment by watering few plants with rainwater and other few with the groundwater. And after completing the experiments and analyzing the data, you found that plants watered with rainwater grow faster as uh, compared to the plants that was given the groundwater. So you generalize that rainwater is more beneficial to the plants. Now this experiment is verified on some other plants also. Then scientific studies can also be taken into account to support your conclusions. And this is how the inductive analysis method works. We can say that inductive method is highly practical and realistic method which describes things as they are actually in present. It is also helpful in verifying conclusions of the deductive method. Under inductive method, the economic laws are not universal but only valid for certain conditions. This method acts as a guide for future inquiries. The accuracy by this method is also more as compared to the other method. Generalization in case of inductive method helps us to draw uh, generalizations related to a particular time and place. Government can also use this method to solve complex economic problems. Conclusions drawn by deductive analysis can also be verified by this method. So these are the main merits of inductive method. From demerit point of view, there can be misinterpretation of data in case of inductive analysis. The cost involved is also more. In some of the cases, hasty conclusions are drawn by ignoring some important facts. The conclusions drawn in inductive analysis have limited applicability, as in this case, we move from general to specific. Highly skilled researchers are required to conduct inductive analysis. The inductive analysis method is a one-sided method in absence of deductive method. So without deductive method, we get partial or we can say inadequate and incomplete conclusions. So these are some of the demerits of inductive analysis. So this was all in today's lecture session in which we discussed the deductive and inductive methods. Thank you.